Live. Preparing to stream. This meeting is being live streamed. And
Hi,
we
everybody.
begin.
My name's Eric Kilburn. I bet you already knew that.
Hey, wait a minute.
Okay.
Hey, shut up. I'm introducing you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, Dean.
First, I have to mute the YouTube. Hey, hello, everybody. I'm going to spotlight myself, so I have the stage and the microphone. I'm a stage microphone hog. Hey, it didn't work. What happened? I'm not spotlighted. Oh well, whatever. Can you hear me? Yes.
I can hear you. Yeah.
What happened to the spotlight? The Dean spotlight.
You are spotlit, Dean. It's okay.
Am I spot? Okay. Good. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Community Church of Boston's Winter Fridays. We're having fun with this, and we're going to do one every Friday all the way through March. Among the audience, we have some recent concerts like Susie and Bill, and we have some upcoming concerts like Rit and Beth. Beth is serving as co-host and Zoom guru, and we have a bunch of other folks. It's so good to see everybody. We have David from New Zealand. We have a bunch of people from all kinds of places. Tomas, are you in New York or in Massachusetts? Wherever you are, welcome. There's Phil and there's Jack and there's Jim and Dana and all kinds of folks. So welcome, and let's get on with kicking back on a Friday night and listening to some great songs. Eric Kilburn and I go back to the early 80s when we were kicking around a dinky coffee house named The Nameless in Cambridge, and having a little fun with just messing around with songs and playing guitars. And we made fast friends and took some trips together, like to Vermont to play a gig, and to another gig in Vermont and here and there. And next thing I knew, Eric was my studio engineer, and we were going way up into an attic in some room that he rented in Newton and recording my second record. And next thing you know, he was moving to a new studio, and then a new one, and then a different one, all the way till now, when he has Boston's state-of-the-art model for all of folkdom in this region. But the best, and I'll mention also all the work that he's done to make tons of musicians in this area sound great with audio reinforcement, sound reinforcement, recording, and PA. But the best kept secret is that this man is a wonderful songwriter and a prolific songwriter, and he takes on difficult topics and funny topics and bizarre topics and things of social importance. I'm so glad to be this man's friend for so many years, and so glad to feature him tonight. As the time goes, we'll take a little break, and I'll talk about Community Church a little bit and tell you about some upcoming concerts. Thank you all for joining us tonight, both on Zoom as well as on YouTube. If you get a chance and have not bought a ticket already, you can feed the PayPal tip jar. We will put up that information in the chat. And all proceeds are to the performer, by the way. It is a free concert and it's sliding scale, but that's what I wanted to let you know. Eric Kilburn, I will spotlight you, and you can take the stage. Except I can't find you.
He's already spotlit.
Oh, you're way ahead of me. I forgot I got a incredible stage manager here. Eric Kilburn, folks.
Thank you, Dean. I'm going to play a bunch of tunes tonight that many of you have never heard because they aren't out yet. They're things I've written in the last year or two. And this is one of them. This is a tune just about kind of I kind of stole the vibe from my friend Dylan Buston, who writes great old-time songs, and this is kind of a little country blues that, little life philosophy, I guess. It's called You Just Know. Rabbit in a briar patch, he ain't coming out. Knows he'd be an easy catch in that hungry fox's mouth. Rabbit can't come out, Foxy can't come in. Fox gives up and saunters off, says, I hope we meet again. Some things you learn so slow, some things you just know. Sometimes the truth will get you, sometimes you don't know what hit you. Rich man sitting on a pile of gold in his mansion on the hill. All the trophies in this world and he's not happy still. Poor man got nothing but time and friends to see him through. He might have but one thin dime and he's glad to share with you. Some things you learn so slow, some things you just know. Sometimes the truth will get you, sometimes you don't know what hit you. I met you in that old bookstore, you knocked me on my duff. That was 40 years ago, I still ain't got back up. Darling, tell me pretty lies, a whisper in my ear. I see you in that summer dress, mama, come on over here. Some things we learn so slow, some things you just know. Sometimes the truth will get you, sometimes you don't know what hit you. Thank you. Well, this is probably the oldest song I wrote this tune. It's probably the oldest song I'm going to play tonight. It's a tune I wrote in my late 20s as I was looking at a lot of friends of mine who were having babies. I'm here in my living room. It's the first time I've ever performed a show in my living room. It's kind of fun. Behind me are maps of where my children are living. There's a map of New York City behind me there. And then where my one boy is living in, he's not a boy anymore, he's 31. But he's living in Brooklyn, working in the city. And my youngest son is in Boulder, Colorado. He's working for the Rangers out there. And so we have a map of Colorado out there behind us. Amazing how guitars acclimate to a room after you tune them. There's a song called Wait a Minute. Maybe it was love, maybe something else. Still my parents tried to give me some help, but when they said don't, it just made me want to do. I saw that light socket, stuck my hand into it, and I felt a funny feeling right up to my brain. Next thing I remember, Mama's trying to explain. She said, wait a minute, son, don't you do all the dumb things I have done. Let me save you some time, let me give you a break. I said no, I want to make my own mistakes, and I do. In my teenage years, you couldn't make me admit that my parents existed, or that they ever did, like the time she and I were lying on the floor, doing things I'd never done before, when all of a sudden, there's a light in the room, and they were home early, they were home too soon. They said, wait a minute, son, don't you do all the dumb things I have done, let me save you some time, let me give you a break. And we said, no, I want to make my own mistakes, and we do. In the summer in the woods, me and my friends got loose on the wine I made from Welch's grape juice. It was a reddish brown ooze. It bubbled in the cup. We all drank a quart. Then we all threw up, and though most of us were better, by the next day my friend Jimmy heard his old man say, wait a minute, son, don't you do all the dumb things I have done, let me save you some time, let me give you a break. Jimmy said, no, I want to make my own mistakes, and he did. Since I can't really post it in the chat, I'll just share that little exclusive recipe with you right now, folks. I know some of you have been wanting to know what that magical wine-like elixir was that I made back in 9th grade. You take a Clorox bottle, empty out any leftover Clorox, maybe rinse it out, get a gallon of water, a can of Welch's grape juice, a pound of sugar, and nothing but the finest Fleischmann's baking yeast. Shake it all up, put it in a corner of the family trailer in the backyard where no one's likely to find it, and put a little balloon on the top. That's the sterile fermentation lock. And after about 2 weeks, the balloon fills up with gas. I think it's carbon dioxide, so you're technically contributing to global warming and in the process of making this wine. But anyway, after about 3 or 4 weeks, it stops making gas. And if you drink it and you don't die, congratulations, it's wine. Some of us went to work, some went on in school. Sometimes we must have acted like such total fools. We were following gurus, reading funny books, talking mantras and chakras, and getting funny looks at the Thanksgiving dinner. Everybody said to eat, and we said, it's really wrong to eat meat. And they said, wait a minute, son. This is one dumb thing I have never done, but let me save you some time. Let me give you a break. We said, no, I want to make my own mistakes, and we do. Now we're growing older, we got wedding rings, we got little babies, we got lots of other things. We still want our children to be better than us. Things have not changed all that much, 'cause folks are gonna whisper in their little one's ear, and the child will pretend, but he doesn't really hear us say, wait a minute, daughter, wait a minute, son. Don't you do all the dumb things I have done, let me save you some time, let me give you a break. And they say, no, I want to make my own mistakes, and we do. And we do. Well, here's a recent tune. I think, as you get to sort of meet different people in life, sometimes you come across people where you listen to them and how they interact in groups or with other people, and you might think, I think maybe their mother loved them just a little too much. Do you know what I'm talking about? I think I'm one of those guys. And so this is a tune a little bit about that. I'm over myself. Well, not really. Do you think it would help if I were less touchy-feely? Maybe I wouldn't need to share every little thought like it was Shakespeare, something you just had to hear. I'm over myself. Nobody's watching. I'm not a big dog, more like a dachshund, but enough about me. How do you feel about me? Am I everything you hoped I'd be? Maybe it's because I'm a firstborn, raised to be the center of the universe. Maybe this upper middle class white guy got a little too used to coming in first. If I could say one thing about what's up now, I'm over myself. I'll try to shut up now. But if I don't get the joke, get a little conceited, 'cause I'm so awfully woke, won't you please just give me a poke? I'm over myself. May I ask politely, I could use a little help. You don't have to like me. There's a great big world out there, full of people and things I never knew or cared. If it's not too late, I swear I'm over myself. Well, not really. So yeah. For about 25 years, I almost never wrote any songs every year except for a week in August when I went to Swans Island, Maine, where a very kind soul named Doug Day and his family, Diana and Jackson and everyone else, invited me to play as part of this festival where you didn't make much money, but you had a hell of a great time. You ate like a king, you played to great audiences, and most important for me, I had sort of an annual impetus to write something new. And so very often I would be writing songs like at dinner the night before I would play, the night I was playing, and taping lyrics to mic stands and struggling through songs. I don't know whether it was annoying or not, but I hope it wasn't too annoying. But anyway, this is one of the tunes I wrote in 1993, I think, when my son Ben was just 3 years old, and he had a good set of legs on him, and he loved going for walks in the woods, and we did that a lot. This is a song called "Walkin' with the Boy." Arms akimbo, held up high, reaching for his own piece of sky. He don't know the reason why. Only birds and bees and the dreams of children fly. I'm walking with the boy who is walking with the man. Something's going on I barely understand. So much love shining in my face, walking with the boy in a state of grace. If I can walk it, he will run. When I'm feeling funky, he can still have fun. It's a job he does, it's a job well done. He finds my rough spots and he jumps on everyone. I'm walking with the boy who is walking with the man. Something's going on I barely understand. So much love shining in my face, walking with a boy in a state of grace. Take it, Kevin Barry. At this point, Mr. Kevin Barry plays a really tasteful 8-bar solo. He's 1,000 questions in a world still new. It's not what I say, Lord, is what I do. Go on ahead, son, I'll catch up to you. Though someday soon this might not be true. Meanwhile, I'm walking with a boy who is walking with a man. Something's going on I barely understand. So much love shining in my face, walking with a boy in a state of grace, walking with a boy in a state of grace.
Woo! You can all unmute, show them the love. Woo!
Yeah, Eric. Yeah.
Woohoo!
Yippee!
Yay!
Oh. That's great. Thank you.
Nice, Eric. Wonderful.
Hey, Louise.
So emotional. Oh my God, I love it so much.
Susie, oh my goodness. I just had a fun little hang with my buddy Louise Grassman this afternoon. She came, there's nothing I like much more than talking about guitars, and Louise came over to my studio and played a bunch of new and old guitars and trying to think about what she wants to pick for a personal instrument. And we had fun yakking. This is a I'm in a, for you guitar nerds out there, I'm in a Nick Drake tuning. It's a CG CF-CE from low to high. It's a fun tuning, and you can play very kind of angst-filled songs with this tuning. It just wants to like make you feel kind of to tug on your heartstrings. So. This is a tune that I started a couple of years ago and mostly got through most of it when I had a good friend, Stuart Ferguson, who passed away just before COVID started. And because of COVID, they couldn't have a funeral for him, and along with lots of other people, millions of people like that, I guess now. But and just in the last month, I lost 3 good friends, and like boom, 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 in like the space of a week. My buddy Dave Surrett, great guitar player, and Bill Staines, longtime influence and friend, and Scott Alaric, wonderful journalist, and recorded an album with me back in the 90s. All left the earth, and just started thinking about the fragility, I think. Anyway, this is a tune called Nobody Told Me. Nobody told me about this part, the burden that comes with a beating heart. When you love someone so deep and long, turn around and they are gone. We wail to the heavens, we rage at God, we shake with the power of a lightning rod as we gather here, crying in the pews for all the things we don't get to choose. Nobody told me about this ache. I shake my head like there's some mistake, some bad dream I will awaken from, and I'll hear your laughter once again, and we search for the answers, but the questions are wrong, and all we can do is care. have to lose. We've come so far, forever tempting fate. We thought we were in charge. That was our first mistake. Nobody told me about this love. Was it something I should have been scared of? The risks we somehow have to take, and the best choices we can ever make. So we open ourselves and life comes in. It's a roll of the dice and the odds are slim that we ever get out of this place without paying dues for all the things we have to lose. For all the things we don't get to choose. Okay. That's pretty dark, huh? This is a tune about how we somehow survive to procreate in some cases, or just to watch those around us do that. This is a tune called Mystery Strings. It's off my album, and it features a very Mark Knopfler-esque solo by the wonderful Kevin Barry, who, if you've never heard play, you haven't heard one of the best guitar players in North America, I think. Mystery Strings. The river had frozen the week before as the 12-year-old walked along the shore, remembering her parents' advice. But her dog ran to the middle of the stream, and she heard a sound that made her scream as she turned and saw him go through the ice. The current began to pull him down. She yelled for help, but no one was around. No time for thinking, no time for fright. She ran toward him with all her might. 50 feet away, her dog waited. You think she made it? We will do foolish things. We will dance upon a knife. The fates weave their mystery strings, and we ain't owed anything in life. He was 18, running on lust, hitchhiking south to see one he could trust. 500 miles, backpack and guitar in hand. Now the only thing left in the way was rush hour traffic, an 8-lane beltway dodging cars. He tumbled to the median. Breathless and shaking, he stole a glance at the hole the car had made in his pants. halfway across. She seemed so close. Besides, this would make a damn good boast. Tires screeched as he ran out with a prayer. You think he got there? We will do foolish things. We will dance upon a knife. The fates weave their mystery strings, and we ain't owed anything in life. You were raised with cautiousness, well behaved, well ironed dress. You always told your parents where you'd been. And I was raised to clean my plate, full of inbred Nordic traits. I took no chances. My mother was a Lutheran. Now the years have passed, and I can't believe that river girl was you, that highway boy was me. And now we're in this family together, with a child pulling on his tether as he finds sharper edges every day. No matter what we say, we will do foolish things. We will dance upon a knife. The fates weave their mystery strings. We ain't owed anything in life. You know, it's always interesting to me looking at forces at work in society and well, how powerful scared white people can be. This whole thing in the news lately about critical race theory and how basically white people are sort of scared to find out about racism in this country because, of course, we're a post-racial society, as some people like to believe. And anyway, there was a great program on This American Life a couple of weeks ago about just how quickly things shift from sort of national consciousness in the wake of George Floyd and to being scared to look at some of the stuff at work out there. Anyway, this is my attempt to grapple with some of that stuff in one 3-minute song. Called Lucky. No one ever followed me around the store. I don't get asked, where'd you get that car? Never heard the question, are you sure you can pay? I guess I'm just lucky in that way. I don't get praised for how well I speak. Don't get asked, what do white people think? I don't know what it's like to wake up angry every day. I guess I'm just lucky that way. Guess I'm just lucky, thank you very much. Everything's just ducky, I'm just such a lucky. Never taught my children what to do if they're stopped. They never learned to be afraid of cops. Both hands on the wheel, son, remember to pray. I guess I'm just lucky that way. Never felt a pistol against my back. Never felt a knee upon my neck. Never had the feeling that my life was in play. I guess I'm just lucky that way. Guess I'm just lucky, thank you very much. Everything's just ducky, I'm just such a lucky. Guess I'm just lucky that way. There's a little tune, there's a little tune about not being so hard on yourself. Called Fiddle-dee-dee. I am not neat, I have never been. I sweep my home only when I'm seeing friends. Still I have limits and things improve. The icebox gets cleaned when the starts to move, and a little voice says, you're too old for this. And a little voice says, you're too old for this. And another voice says, it's so much fun, why bother to resist? Oh, fiddle-de-dum, fiddle-de-dee. I try to be perfect, and I will not be, but I'll put up with you if you'll put up with me. Oh, fiddle-de-dum, fiddle-de-dee. I love basketball, it does not love me. Still you may find me on the court in some teenage fantasy. I'm Magic Johnson, I'm Larry Bird. Ain't the swish of the ball through the net the sweetest sound you ever heard? And a little voice says, you're too old for this. And another voice says, it's so much fun, man, why bother to resist? Oh, fiddle-de-dum, fiddle-de-dee. I tried to be perfect, and I will not be, but I'll put up with you if you'll put up with me. Oh, fiddle-de-dum, fiddle-de-dee. I know you well, I love you more. I used to think I could shrug it off if you walked out the door. I'm Magic Johnson, I'm Larry Bird. Ain't the swish of the ball through the net the sweetest sound you ever heard? And a little voice says, love will hurt you every time. Another voice says, you're just scared, and that's a good sign. Oh, fiddle-de-dum, fiddle-de-dee. We try to be perfect, and we will not be, but I'll put up with you if you'll put up with me. Oh, fiddle-de-dum, fiddle-de-dee. I don't play that much mandolin in live shows anymore, but I noticed one of the things that was promoting this event mentioned that I played the mandolin, so I thought, well, I don't want to, falsely advertise myself or anything, so. Another song about, another autobiographical song. Big surprise. That mandolin is just a little loud. I'm going to turn that down. Well, who can dunk a basketball? As long as the rim is 7 feet tall. Well, who plays a pickup game on Sunday? Who can barely walk on Monday? Middle-aged white guys, middle-aged white guys. Here we come, trying to have some fun, get used to it. Well, who looks funny when it tries to dance? Who can't fit in last year's pants? Well, who used to hate golden oldies stations? Who's now singing along to the Temptations? Middle-aged white guys. Middle-aged white guys. Here we come, trying to have some fun. For goodness sakes, get used to it. Sometimes we grouch, we are known to whine and moan. When this happens, help us to the couch, get us a beer and leave us alone. Well, who says to his honey every night, hey baby? Who gets lucky once a week, maybe? Who's settled down, who's a married for lifer? Who'd still like a date with Michelle Pfeiffer? Middle-aged white guys. Middle-aged white guys. Here we come, trying to have some fun. Get used to it. Get used
Oh, yeah.
Yay!
Yeah.
Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
we like that.
You know, it is so weird to play and like when they finish the song. It's just like, well, I think they liked it, but I can't really tell. I think I'll play this tune and I'll take a short break and go get a beverage and tune the guitars and do a couple jumping jacks, and I'll be back in like 10 minutes. Dean can tell you all about the wonderful work of the Community Church of Boston, and I'll be back with another batch of songs. Thank you so much for coming. And by the way, if you like some of these tunes and want to hear a CD or of what I've got, if you just PayPal me like $10, maybe 11 with the shipping or something, I'll and just mention you like a CD and put your address, give your address to Dean. He'll get it to me and I'll get it to you. How's that? We'll make this work. This is a song inspired by the wonderful songwriter and guitarist Jeff Bartley. I didn't directly steal his melody in this tune, but I stole the feeling, I think, of a wonderful song he has called One Kind Word. This is a song called Tell Me a Story, and it is the sordid tale of my romantic life. Sort of. Late night on the highway, trying to stay awake. My mind turns over the fun and mistakes as I started dreaming about my old girlfriends. I'd like to see you all one more time again. You could tell me a story, I would be convinced. Say you had no one better before or since. You might be lying, and that'd be okay. Time is a great deceiver, and I like it that way. Well, I remember Sandy, she was number one. She was older and graceful, I was desperate and young. Now good loving takes an hour, I took a minute and a half. Sandy was kind and had the good sense not to laugh. Then there was Susan, she had a smile so sweet. She said, come on over, we'll play trick or treat. Then she got out the candles and the handcuffs too. I didn't know what S&M was, and now I do. Tell me a story, I will be convinced. Say I had no one better before or since. You might be lying, that'd be okay. Time is a great deceiver, and I like it that way. So come over here, darling, like you used to do. Forget I'm married to you. Let's get real close now till the morning breaks. Maybe we can fall asleep before our baby wakes. My wife tells me a story, and I am convinced. Says she's had no one better before or since. Hope she ain't lying, that'd be okay. Time is a great deceiver, and I like it that way. Time is a great deceiver, and I like it that way. Thanks a lot, folks. I'll be back in a few minutes.
Nice job, Eric.
Y'all.
Hey, great.
Having a lot of fun here in my living room.
Yeehaw.
Back in a few.
Thanks, Eric. Maybe I stole the spotlight. Oh, that's ugly. Beth, how do we turn that off?
Feedback. I think we're gonna go home.
Beth, have we got that under control? No, we don't.
We're getting there. We're getting there.
We have to mute everybody, right?
That's what I'm doing. Yep. One at a time, everybody.
And then bring me back. Hello. Eric Kilburn. You demand. Thank you, all 64 of you, plus another 20 on YouTube, for joining us here. And we get up and get a snack. And I forgot to do what I wanted to do, which is go down to the liquor store next door and get a beer. I'm not that laid back yet on these Friday concerts, but they used to joke that Community Church is the only church on the planet that's over a bar and next to a liquor store. That bar moved away and now it's a restaurant. But hey, I just had this thought that I'd give you a little tour of my desk to give you a sense of what's going on here. And I want to start with this very beautiful woodcut. That is Winona LaDuke. She spoke here about 4 weeks ago. Let me read you what the quote says. It says, "Power is not brute force and money. Power is your spirit. Power is in your soul. It is what your ancestors, your old people gave you. Power is in the earth. It is in your relationship to the earth." Winona LaDuke. I saw this and it was just so beautiful. I had to contact this artist who did this. Her name is Anna Brones. And guess what? She's speaking here in about 2 months. We're going to have her talk about art and social change and cultural work. And I can hardly wait. She has a beautiful website. It's all woodcuts of women's quotes like that. It's a gorgeous thing, beautiful thing. Next, I just noticed this CD by a guy named David Rovics, who sings here pretty often. He's an incredible, prolific political songwriter, tours constantly, not so much in the last couple of years, but this is called Falastin Habibi, and it's an entire CD of songs dedicated to the Palestinian cause. And that reminds me that I want to tell you about an event that we just organized. It's on Tuesday, February 14th, and it's a roundtable of speakers on Palestine. One of them is named Jeff Halper, and he's from the Committee to, let me see if I get, Committee to End Home Demolitions in the West Bank in Jerusalem. And he will be joining us from Jerusalem, even though it will be 2 in the morning there and it'll be 7 p.m. here. We also have Leila Farsak, who is a Palestinian professor at UMass Boston, and Skip Scheel, who's our activist friend from the Friends Meeting House, who's organizing the thing, and I'm going to sing a couple of songs. That's February 14th. And next thing I want to tell you is this Sunday, I'm very excited about a program we're doing that was inspired by a trip that Jennifer and I took to celebrate her retirement. That would be Jennifer Johnston, my wife. And the trip was a raft voyage down the Salmon River in Idaho. And one of the guides gave us an incredible talk about the plight of the wild sockeye in the Salmon River. They're almost extinct, and there's a huge move afoot to remove 4 dams downstream in the Snake River. And he's going to talk about that. That's this Sunday. His name is Mark Martin. And I'm going to get to sing a song that I wrote 30 years ago that's called Salmon River. I wish Eric could be here at the church to play mandolin. Maybe I'll get him, maybe I'll see if he'll drive in just to play that mandolin part in that song. Anyway, there's a whole bunch of other stuff. I'll put up our website. It's very simple, communitychurchofboston.org. And we have a bunch of programming, both these Friday concerts as well as every Sunday at 11 a.m. And we have a different musician every Sunday as well. Let's see, what else did I want to show you on my desk? Oh, this is something I just found. I've been looking for it. I read it a long time ago. Reverend Donald Lothrop was our minister for 39 years. And this is, somebody had asked me to find this, and I couldn't find it. Finally, I found it in the archives. This is a talk that Donald Lothrop gave to the Joint Legislative Committee on Rules in 1958. See, what had happened was that there was a State House version of the HUAC, House Un-American Activities Committee, that was investigating communists and other subversives in the late 50s in Massachusetts. And several members of the community church were paraded in front of that committee, and the community church of Boston was pegged as being under the direction of the Communist Party. Anyway, Lothrop was invited to make some comments, and he gave this committee a tongue lashing that caused them to soon be disbanded. It's an amazing moment, an amazing story, and I found it. I'm going to have it digitized and put it up on our website. It's a very eloquent thing, as there are so many more in our 102-year history. So that's a few things on my desk. There's also a ton, I was going to say a shitload, but I didn't. Yes, I just did, I guess. Sorry if somebody is offended. Sorry, Mom. Let's see, can I find the books? They take up half I can't do it right now, but they take up half the auditorium, and they are from the estate of Robert Datilio, who was probably the world's foremost scholar on the Sacco and Vanzetti case. And among many other things that he did was that he was a voraciously avaricious collector of books and books and more books. And we have all of his books, and they take up this half of this auditorium as well as pretty much the entire third floor. It's just awesome, and it takes up too much space. I'm almost grateful to COVID for having let us use this auditorium for all these books. They'll eventually have to go somewhere else, but it's really fun having them. It's really a wonderful feast of the intellectual and political and war history of the early 20th century, and many other things Bob was interested in: photography, art, architecture, Poetry, and more poetry. His wife was a dancer in the Boston Ballet, so we have this gazillion books about dance. It's just phenomenal. I invite you to come here, if not for our Sunday meeting, which is open. You need to be masked if you're not speaking or singing, and we encourage you to be vaxxed. But here we are. If you feel so led to come see these books or to come be with us while we broadcast this Sunday meeting, and while we also serve pupusas afterwards. Our Salvadoran cook brings pupusas every Sunday for us to enjoy after we're done. So that's a little skinny on the Community Church of Boston and on what's going on here. We just found out, this has been a great week. We found out that, let me tell you two things that were just great. We found out that we're on track to get a pretty enormous grant from the city of Boston to replace one of our two roofs, which is very old and ready for replacement and fortification with a whole lot of insulation. We want to become a beacon of energy efficiency and a state-of-the-art model for similar buildings in this city. So that's an amazing piece of news. We're almost ready to pop the bubbly about that one. The other one I'll tell you about was that 2 days ago, Tommy Rosa came in. Tommy Rosa was one of our members behind bars. There were 10 of them. Now there are 8 because 2 of them got out, Arnie King and Tommy Rosa. And I had never met in person Tommy Rosa. He spent 35 years in jail and was recently released and exonerated by the Innocence Project and DNA evidence. And what's amazing is that there's no bitterness. He's just a wonderful guy with all these health issues, probably having to do with 35 years in jail, but he's just full of life and joy and humor. Tommy Rosa, and we look forward to hearing more from him at the church, as well as finding better ways to support our members behind bars. That's way too much, right? I hope not. I'm just so full of this place and invite you to join us on a Sunday, or join us on another Friday, or join us on one of our weeknight meetings as well. And now join us back again at the amazing Eric Kilburn. Don't forget to feed his tip jar. The address is in the chat. And don't forget that there are wonderful Friday concerts coming up. Next week is the amazing Jacqueline Schwab, who is the soundtrack for a lot of Ken Burns's documentaries. You heard her in the Civil War series. You heard her in baseball. You heard her in World War II. She's just full of elegance, grace, and style. After that, the next Friday is my good buddies from Camden, Maine, John and Rachel Nicholas. You'll love their country rock flair and their beautiful harmonies. And on from there, I'll post the entire schedule in the chat. And now I'll shut the hell up and invite Eric Kilburn to grace us with more songs.
Thank you, Dean. This is a song about my first real electric guitar. I first got turned on to playing guitar when I was 15, and I immediately wanted to, well, I'll let the song speak for itself. Out the door by 8:15, bike to town for gasoline. I've got 4 lawns to mow, a couple to lime. Back home by supper time, after dinner, my time is my own, with my cheap guitar and a silver tone, making sounds my folks don't like or understand. But I've got plans, I've got plans. Other boys are dreaming about girls and muscle cars, but I just want that Gibson Les Paul guitar. 15, the world has opened my eyes. I looked around and realized if you want to get anywhere, you can't slow down. Jump in the water, try not to drown. And the old guy at the store sees that look in my face. If you want it, kid, I can lay it away. Give me the dough by Labor Day. It's in your hands. I've got plans. I've got plans. 65 more lawns to mow with my eyes full of stars. I'm gonna get that Gibson Les Paul guitar. Well, there's a sound and a memory the years can't erase. When you come of age and wanna take your place, nothing takes up space like a boy with a paw. Plugged into a Marshall stack, nothing can hold you back. Turn it up to 10, man. Let it smack those walls. Took it off the rack that very day, stuck it in the back. I'd come in and play once or twice a week. When my work was through, I couldn't believe what it could do. And my folks always thought I was saving for college. I was holding out for the higher knowledge. On September 1st, I put the money in his hands. 'Cause I got plans. I got plans. $300 of sweat and blood can take you far. I saw my future flash before me and my Les Paul guitar. I floated out the door with my Gibson Les Paul guitar. Well, let's see, put that down. Well, I've written a lot of songs for my children over the years. This one is a tune I wrote after my second child was born. His name is Sam. And it's really tongue-in-cheek. Kind of inspired by Bill and Susie Burnett, too, who wrote a wonderful song about the prospect of having a child. This is about the actual of having a child. It's a blues from the perspective of a baby. When I came into your life, I was helpless as a lamb. I'm not always what you wanted, I'm always what I am. I ain't no stamp collection, I ain't no weekend guest. I'm the reason you look ragged, I am the reason you are blessed. I am a baby. What did you expect? Baby, what you see is baby what you get. Everything I can reach goes straight to my mouth. Sometimes it goes a little north, sometimes a little south. But come over closer to me, I'll smear you with a hug. Put me on the floor, I will rub something in your rug. I am a baby. The party's not over yet. Baby, what you see is baby what you get. Well, they try to stop me crying. They do silly things, jump up and down, make funny faces, even sing. I wish I could just tell them I'm just doing what I should, but they say, don't be such a baby, but it don't do no good, 'cause I'm a baby. Well, I'm a lesson in power. I know how to make a point. I don't have money or muscles, but I sure enough run this joint. There's a man and a woman at my beck and call. All I gotta do is fuss a little bit and watch. Here they come running down the hall. I am a baby. Oh, you look like you need some rest. Baby, what you see is, baby, what you get. Well, baby, what you see is, baby, what you get. When I was 11 years old, this is about the first memory I have of watching an Olympic Games. And I was interested in the Olympics that year, especially because our sixth grade class had a 600-yard run. And I won. And it sort of was the beginning of a long career in running. And I kind of got into the school I went to and met my wife because I could run fast. And anyway, the Olympics were pretty moving that year. And one of the things I remember was the 200-meter dash where Tommy Smith and John Carlos raised their fists at the end of at the medal ceremony, and it was a big scandal, apparently. And they were booted off the team, and I think their medals were taken away. And what was that was. It was very new to me to understand civil rights and athletics and how that all worked together. But one of the stories about that ceremony that wasn't known much at the time was that the white guy on the podium, the guy who came in second, whose name was Peter Norman, he sided with them and publicly spoke out in support of them and even gave them ideas about how to present themselves while they were talking about doing what they were doing. They came up to him before the ceremony and said, we're going to do this, and what do you think? And he was like, yeah, go for it, you know. So anyway, after the ceremony, Peter Norman faced a great deal of backlash in Australia, his home country. And this is kind of a song about him, sort of an unsung person in that struggle. It's called The Choice. Greet each customer with a smile and say, what can I get for you this fine day? I got some nice flank steak cut an hour ago and some sausage to make your man's hair grow. Sometimes they ask about my twisted fate, about the Olympics in '68. Their butcher was the second fastest man on earth, and the aftermath and what it was worth. What you gonna say, what you gonna do, when the choice of a lifetime is handed to you? When the road forks between the easy and the true, what you gonna say, what you gonna do? I ran the race of my life, that's all I can say, but no one was beating Tommy Smith that day. Beat John Carlos by just the width of my hand for a silver medal on the honoring stand. Smith and Carlos told their plan to me, about making a statement the whole world would see. They asked if I believed in God and brotherhood. I said I would help in any way I could. What you gonna say, what you gonna do, when the choice of a lifetime is handed to you? When the road forks between the easy and the true, what you gonna say, what you gonna do? I wore a human rights badge pinned to my chest. Smith and Carlos raised their fists, and the world was shocked to have to open their eyes and see these proud black men with a skinny white guy. Back in Australia, apartheid was the way. There was no confetti, no welcome in parades. They froze me off the team in '72, and I had to admit that I was through. What you gonna say, what you gonna do, when the choice of a lifetime is handed to you? When the road forks between the easy and the true, what you gonna say, what you gonna do? We're not hiring you, I heard from everyone. I couldn't coach, I couldn't teach, 'cause of what I'd done. Smith and Carlos had their hard times too. A butcher's an honest trade, it was something I could do. 38 years later, God opened the door and welcomed Peter Norman, only 64. Smith and Carlos bore the coffin down the aisle. My brother from another mother, Carlos said with a smile. What you gonna say, or what you gonna do, when the choice of a lifetime is handed to you? When the road forks between the easy and the true, what you gonna say, what you gonna say, what you gonna do? The choice of a lifetime is handed to you. When there's sometimes you only get a moment or two. What you gonna say, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? I have a fun little postscript from that song. I somehow got a hold of a department at University of California where Tommy Smith's on faculty, and I sent the song to him, and he called me up, and he left this incredible message on my phone machine, and he liked it. I guess it's simple. It was really and one thing I remember he said is that you showed us respect, and that was all I could hope for. That's all you can hope for when you write about that kind of stuff. Well, my youngest son works as a ranger out in the city of Boulder, Colorado, which is a town that's on the interface of the suburban and the wild. And one day he sent us pictures of a mountain lion that had been lounging on a brick wall in somebody's backyard after having devoured a raccoon and was just kind of chilling out. And of course, we just can't have mountain lions in suburbia. They eat house cats and dogs and people sometimes. And so it was just, he was part of a crew that tranquilized the animal with a dart and took it off 20 miles north and let it go in the wilds. And I have a friend who lives in the town where they released it, and a couple of weeks later, he sent me a picture of a deer that had been killed by a mountain lion, and so it was like maybe that was the same one. But it started me thinking about apex predators. That's what they're called. And an apex predator is an animal that doesn't get eaten by other animals. And I guess technically humans are not apex predators. And maybe this is a little bit about what this song is from. This is called Making a Living. I'm a mountain lion. I've been living here for the better part of 10 million years. Caribou and elk are my favorite entrees, but I make exceptions most every day. Well, I was up in a tree high over the trail. I was looking for a deer, a raccoon or quail, when along came this jogger just a-heading my way. He was kind of skinny, but it tasted okay. Making a living is no easy game. I take what I get and I never complain. Sometimes it's a famine, sometimes it's a feast. I'm just doing my best, doing my beast. Well, I'm a great white shark, and I sure like your beach, with its fat tasty seals within easy reach. I'm not all that bright, my eyes are half blind, and until Steven Spielberg, no one paid me no mind. Now the warnings were posted for all to see, but the surfers ignored them, and seals they can't read. A surfer in a wetsuit looks a lot like a meal, so I took a few bites, and it wasn't a seal. Making a living is no easy game. I take what I get and I never complain. Sometimes it's a famine, sometimes it's a feast. Just doing my best, doing my beast. It's the blues of the apex predator. I'm despised and misunderstood. I'm just doing my gig, my ego's not big. And if I eat you, it's for your own good. Let's see. I ain't big, I ain't bad, but I'm the wolf that you hate. It's not my disposition, it's something I ate. I never touched that Red Riding Hood, she never passed my lips. But those sheep were so easy, I couldn't resist. Have you seen what the deer do to rivers and trees? They can ruin a forest, but it wasn't for me. But I get no respect from all that I've seen with your steel traps and poisons and AR-15s. Making a living is no easy game. I take what I get and I never complain. Sometimes it's a famine, sometimes it's a feast. I'm just doing my best, doing my beast. All right. Oh, yeah. This is a tune that has a little local history in it. I go to the Unitarian Church in Concord, Massachusetts, and there's a couch in the church parlor that has a little plaque next to it. It says, "John Brown sat here, 1857." And I was curious about that. So it turned out that John Brown was sort of on a crowd funding expedition to raise money to buy rifles to bring to Kansas to arm the abolitionist settlers there who were getting shot at and evicted by the pro-slavery settlers when Kansas was just open as a territory. So John Brown went out to Kansas and killed a bunch of people with money that he raised from people in Concord and other places in New England, and then a couple of years later he found other uses for the guns he got. And this is sort of a story about the local connection and what happened. And it's called The Wheel Meets the Road. The church parlor's faded couch would barely catch your eye unless you chance to notice the small plaque nearby. John Brown sat here, 1857, says the text, looking for rifles on his way out west. He traveled New England, trying to raise some funds, needing horses and wagons, mostly needing guns. $40 for Sharp's long barrel shoots in rain and mud. Kansas bound with a promise that there would be blood. Did you hear him preach? Did you hear him prophesy? See the iron in his jaw and the fire in his eyes. So few people would carry that load, where the word becomes deed and the wheel meets the road. Concord made him welcome, turned out to hear the news. Emerson, Thoreau, the Alcotts, 100 in the pews. At the end of the week, over 1,000 was raised, though few did believe he would really free the slaves. There was something in his face that brought caution and fear. He talked revolution, and they thought, we don't want it here. A slave rebellion only made them afraid, so they made their contributions and sent him on his way. Did you hear him preach? Did you hear him prophesy? See the iron in his jaw and the fire in his eyes. So few people would carry that load, where the word becomes deed and the wheel meets the road. The old couch in the corner called out to me, like the elephant in the room of my country's history. 400 years, it just won't go away, as the arc of justice bends and sways, and John Brown's body lies a moldering in his grave, and John Brown's body lies a moldering in his grave. Did you hear him preach? Did you hear him prophesy? See the iron in his jaw and the fire in his eyes. So few people would carry that load, when the word becomes deed and the wheel meets the road. So I have the honor and pleasure of being married to a woman who broke up with me 3 times over a 12-year period. And because I'm a songwriter and she's not, I get to write about these kind of things. And she can just kind of roll her eyes, I guess. But this song, I swear, is all true. And it is another story that starts in 1975 and ends with me getting married to her in 1990. So. Another history song, I guess. Maybe a little drink of water. This is a song called Smarter. First time I met you, I was 3 days 19. I just come 2,000 miles on my thumb. You were a woman like I had never seen. I started laying plans and playing dumb. We walked to the park with my aphrodisiac guitar. Played you blackbird, wild horses, fire and rain. I heard the gentle music would charm a woman's heart, and for a couple of weeks it sure did seem that way. Our love has been a dance, more than once I missed my chance. I saw you and one glance was all it took. Sometimes I tried too hard, other times I played the martyr, but I got you 'cause I'm smarter than I look. You were so full of light, full of passion, full of fight. There were worlds to save and barricades to climb. And you lit a lasting spark, though twice you broke my teenage heart, and I did not appreciate it at the time. A dozen years went by before I looked you in the eyes. We grew closer once again, and then you ran. But the door did not quite close, you left it open, I suppose. Next thing I knew, I was after you again. Our love has been a dance, more than once I missed my chance. I saw you and one glance was all it took. Sometimes I tried too hard, other times I played the martyr, but I got you 'cause I'm smarter than I look. Three times you left me, 3 times I did return. The 4th time round you chased me in the end. There's something to be said for a man who will not learn and ignores the advice of all his friends. You still keep me on my toes, you still look down your nose at my habits that you someday hope to break. Yeah, good luck. And you drive me crazy too. There's a 2-step that we do. 30 years along, it's a love song that we make. Our love has been a dance, more than once you missed your chance. You saw me and 14 years was all it took. Sometimes I tried too hard, other times I played the martyr, but I got you 'cause I'm smarter than I look. I got you 'cause I'm smarter than I look. Here's a tune that I wrote after my youngest son went off to college, which meant that in our house there were no children, except, you know, the grown children of me, and my wife's the more mature of the couple. But this is a tune about saying goodbye to your children and not wanting to. I want to take a moment to just thank Dean and all you all for coming out tonight. I've had a ton of fun. I play a few more tunes here, but just don't want to forget. I thank my wife for letting me turn our living room into a video recording studio. May she someday forgive me for this. And here's a tune. It's called Fledglings. Who are you? I'd like to know. For 20 years we've watched these children grow. You fed and clothed them and kept them safe somehow. And now they've flown. And who are you now? I still see you so wild and fancy free. The day the test came back like a tsunami, some ancient force turned our wings into a nest. Now everybody knows the rest. 2 empty rooms, 2 empty beds, and bookcases full of the stories we read. We don't say goodbye, we say see you soon, and send them off with all our love and good night moon. Who am I? I used to have a clue. 4 mouths to feed meant there was work to do. And I got pretty good at pushing that plow. Now I look ahead and wonder, who am I now? I'm a man on 3rd, heading for home. The chapter closes, the story moves on. I don't know what's in the tea leaves in my cup. What do I want to be when I grow up? 2 empty rooms, 2 empty beds, bookcases full of the stories we read. We don't say goodbye, we say see you soon, and send them off with all our love and good night moon. The pictures on the living room shelves, the hallway's so quiet we bump into ourselves. We haven't yet learned to cook for 2. We still buy too much food. And who are we? What are we gonna do? The babies are gone. Will we lead the nest too? It's another dawn. It's a brand new day. I hear that in time the aching goes away. 2 empty rooms, 2 empty beds, and bookcases full of the stories we read. We don't say goodbye, we say see you soon, and send them off with all our love and good night moon. There's another song about aging, I guess. Probably the first real connection of an extended family in my life came to me at Thanksgiving table. For about the first 15 years of my life, the whole family on my grandmother's side, my father's side, got together, and wherever we were, we managed to have a massive meal together. And it's a time to catch up on the news, the gossip, what's going on, early on, it was a chance for me as a young boy to sort of watch my father in the company of other men, and that was, it was sort of like I was taking notes, like, this is what you're supposed to be like, this is what you're supposed to do. And so that was sort of the inspiration of this song. It's called Tall Tree. Looking at the man at the head of the table, saying grace with a natural ease, cutting turkey, cracking jokes with my uncles, these men like tall oak trees. Everyone's on their best behavior, steer clear of politics and race. Your cousin's got a new black boyfriend, don't mention that to your uncle's face. And I never dreamed this day would come, the man at the head of the table. I am the one, I am the tall tree. I never thought I'd be passing on what was handed down to me. These men were all sons of the Midwest. Their work and family was all they knew. Never talked much about their own lives, but they wanted to know about you. They were men you could always rely on. I thought it would never change. Now one by one they've all gone on, and the table looks so strange. And I never dreamed this day would come, the man at the head of the table. I am the one, I am the tall tree. I never thought I'd be passing on what was handed down to me. The clan is gathered and we're holding hands. I gaze across at every face, looking at the man at the head of the table, as I bow my head in thanks and for grace. This family's not a Rockwell painting. There are struggles and there have been fights, but when I think of the strength we've come from, I'm pretty sure we'll be all right. My sister is playing piano as the children call the tune. I still feel like I'm 8 years old, but I'm the oldest man in the room. And I never dreamed this day would come, the man at the head of the table. I am the one, I am the tall tree. I never thought I'd be passing on what was handed down to me. I'll leave you with this tune. When I was a sophomore in college, I think all the cool guys on my floor were listening to this one artist, and I remember walking like 2 miles in the rain to a local record store and buying this album by Jackson Browne called For Every Man, and it changed my life. I think I was really impressed with what he was saying and his vision and his sort of social conscience, and anyway, I thought I'll leave you with this tune of his. I guess I'll apologize and say that the song is called For Every Man. It's the title track from the record. And it was written in the days before gender non-specific pronouns. I guess you could call it For Everyone, but it messes up the rhyme scheme. So I'll apologize in advance for that. But I think the song can stand on its own without that aspect. Everybody I talk to is ready to leave with the light of the morning. Seen the end coming round long enough to believe that they've heard their last warning. Standing alone, each has his own ticket in his hand. And as the evening descends, I sit thinking about every man. Seems like I've always been looking for some other place to get it together, while with a few of my friends I could give up the race, maybe find something better. But all my fine dreams, well thought out schemes, became the motherland. And all eventually come down to waiting for every man. Waiting here for every man. Make it on your own if you think you can. If you see somewhere to go, I understand. Waiting here for every man. Don't ask me if he'll show. Maybe, I don't know. Everybody's just waiting to hear from the one who can give them the answers, to lead them back to this place in the warmth of the sun, where sweet childhood still dances. Who'll come along and hold out that strong and gentle father's hand. Long ago I heard someone say something about every man. Waiting here for every man. Make it on your own if you think you can. If you see somewhere to go, I understand. I'm not trying to tell you that I've seen the plan. Turn and walk away if you think I am. but don't think too badly of one who's left holding sand. He's just another dreamer, dreaming about every man. Thank you very much, everybody.
You can unmute
you,
it.
Eric.
Sure had fun.
Hey, Eric.
Yeah. Thank you, Eric.
Probably long enough, right? You probably had enough of me, right? That's
One
probably
more. One more. Eric.
Erica. Oh, yeah, Erica. Eric, I have a request.
okay.
Monica, we need
Oh my
you now.
gosh. Oh my goodness. It's so sweet to ask, and that song is long vanished from my memory bank. I'll do you one more. I got a tune that it's kind of a good farewell, a good night song, I think. This is a song that by the way, for any guitar nerds out there, I've been doing a lot of messing around in this dadgad tuning for many years now, but lately I've been playing songs in the key of C and A minor and G in the dadgad tuning, which gives you all these wild voices. So I'm just gonna do a song for you in the key of G. It's actually a G fingering, but in the dadgad world. So.
And Eric, which guitar are you playing now?
This guitar is a 1933 Martin OM18, and it's
And how about the other one?
So the other one here, well, let's see, this one here is made by a luthier in Maynard named T.J. Thompson, and he is an old friend. I've known him for nearly 40 years, and he built this guitar for me. It took him 9.5 years because he's got all kinds of people that want his time, and he tries to be nice to everybody. And the other guitar that I played tonight, since you've got me talking about this is a 1943 Martin 0018. And one thing that's unique about all these guitars is that none of them have truss rods. They don't have any steel in the neck, which makes them ring out a little more and maybe sound a little better. But they also are more fragile and more prone to needing work because they warp, because they don't have steel in the neck. But
Thanks for the tour.
anyway, that's the tour. That's the tour for the evening. And back to your show for one more tune. So there's a poet from New Hampshire named Jane Kenyon. I think she recently passed away. She wrote a wonderful poem called "Let Evening Come," and it's sort of a song about resting and allowing yourself to rest, which is something I'm not very good at, and I aspire to be better at it. But this is I took some of her ideas without stealing any of her words, except for the first 3 words of the song. Everything else is mine, but heavily influenced. So thank you, Jane Kenyon. And this is a song called "Let Evening Come." Let evening come, let the night birds call, let the sun slip off, let shadows fall, let yourself lie down, drift away in dreamless sleep, set aside your lists and the promises to keep. And though there is so much to do, let the arms of evening wrap themselves in you. Let evening come. Let the moon rise through the trees. Let the stars smile on you as they dance in galaxies. May you find a peace where cares just melt away and return to you when you awaken in another day. And though you might not quite believe, grace will come to those who can receive. Let evening come, find your place of rest. Like animals and birds, find the safety of a nest. Unbind the snares of work you've left undone. Let evening come, let evening come. Let evening come, let evening come. Thank you so much, everybody.
Bravo!
I sure had a lot of fun playing for you. I think the longest I've played all my own songs in a row since the last time I played for you, Dean, at your coffee house with real people in the audience. So thank you for that. Thank you all for listening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great, Eric. Thanks,
Dad.
Hey, Van.
What a bunch of great songs,
Thanks,
and
big brother.
And what a bunch of great people who gathered to hear your songs, Eric. I'm gonna save the chat so you can read all the nice things that people said about you while you were busy singing, and I'm just in awe. I don't think I've heard this many songs of yours in a row. It's usually just 2 or 3. Mostly you're listening to my songs while I play them like 20 times trying to get them right in the recording studio. And
Oh, come on, Dean.
That's pretty tedious.
That's
Believe me.
not true. All of your songs are recorded in one take, man.
That's right. That's right. So Eric, thanks again. And if there's somebody who wants to linger around the product table while Eric signs your CD and chats with him, you can raise your hand and have a word, or you can just put it in the chat, and I will save it for Eric. I'll look for a hand to come up. There's a bunch of friends I'd love to say hi to. I'll just scroll through them. Pat Scanlon, hello. Red Hen, Louise, hi Louise, and Ben Kilburn, of course, Jerry and Susie, Adam Sorsher, who is going to host me and Eric for a show up in Lebanon, New Hampshire, if I'm not mistaken. David Dodson, Camden, Maine. Ermelie Kilburn, who I have not had the pleasure before.
She's my mother.
From the Amy, hi Amy. Hey mom, I want to mention my mom too. I got a grant from Community Church to compensate musicians $100 apiece, and my mother matched it. Bless her, at 95 out in California, and as I proceed to the next people, that would be Beth Falcone, who has been our tech director tonight. Thank you, and of course Rit in the same room. Mabel and Bob. It's great to see you. The fastidious music attendees and lovers. Sue Horowitz, Penny and Tony, Alan, Jackson Gilman. Hi, Jackson. Good to see you. Yeah. Susie Giroux, our wonderful member of Community Voices at Community Church. Will Kilburn. All right. All right. And then there's
on the right, you might see some other faces.
There's Marianne. And there's Tomas, and also known as his mom, Jill. Hey, Jill, and Marta Cabalin, and Jack M, and Dorothy. Hi, Dorothy, and Daisy, and Stan, and Rebecca, and Hal. Hello, Hal, from down the Cape, and also from Swans Island. That's where we know him from. Good to see you, Daisy, and Boreana. All right, and Liz and Bill King, and David Kleinschmidt. All right, Nola Sheffer, Galen Brandt, Rick, maybe Rick Hasbrook from Golden, Colorado, if I'm not mistaken. Jane Culbert, David Ludlow joins us from New Zealand, Roz Schwartz, Anna Huckabee Tull, who sang on my last record. Hi, Anna, and Bill Manning. And we scroll to Chris and Bruce Lederer and Holly's iPad, and Elizabeth Sabol Jones. I'm sorry if I butchered your name. Sue Simpson from up in Orono, Brother Nat, and Jeff. That's everybody, and that's a lot of people. Congratulations, Eric, on such a wonderful gang of folks you put together. We also had Anne Shumway earlier. She's a longtime Cambridge activist, and it's good to see her too. Hey, Eric, if you don't mind, you gave me the perfect way to finish out my musical contribution to this Sunday, and because it's a song about the Salmon River, that'll be one part of what I do, and the other part will be what you just inspired me to sing, which I'm gonna practice at you and end the show this way. And you can sing with me. You know this song, the late Bill Staines. I was born in the path of a winter wind, raised where the mountains are old. Their springtime waters came dancing down. I remember the tales that they told. The whistling ways of my younger days too quickly have faded on by, but all their memories linger still, like the light in a fading sky. River, take me along in your sunshine. Sing me your song, ever moving and winding and free. You rolling old river, you changing old river, let's you and me, river, run down to the sea. I've been to the city and back again. I've been moved by some things that I've learned. Met a lot of good people and called them friends. Felt the change as the seasons turned. I've heard all the songs that the children sing. I've listened to love's melodies. I felt my own music within me rise, like the light in the autumn leaves. River, take me along in your sunshine. Sing me your song, ever moving and winding and free. You rolling old river, you changing old river, let's you and me, river, run down to the sea. Someday when the flowers are blooming still, someday when the grass is still green, my rolling waters will round the bend and flow into an open sea. So here's to the rainbow that's followed me here. Here's to the friends that I've known. And here's to the song that's within me now. I will sing it where'er I roam. River, take me along in your sunshine. Sing me your song, ever moving and winding and free. You rolling old river, you changing old river, let's you and me, river, run down to the sea. River, take me along in your sunshine. Sing me your song, ever moving and winding and free. You rolling old river, you changing old river, let's you and me, river, run down to the sea. Bill Staines presente. Everybody say
Hey.
presente. Presente.
Hey.
Yeah. Thanks for hanging with us, folks.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Steve.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dave.
Great, man.
Thanks, Eric.
Thank you.
That was
Thank you,
so
Go to sleep to that song.
And radio next week for Jacqueline Schwab, and the next week for Jonathan Nicholas. Next week for I don't remember who.
Thanks, Dean. Thanks, Eric.
I think I'm unmuted, am I not? No? Yes? Okay. Bye, everybody. Hasta pronto, hasta luego.